Alex had always been the quiet kid in school. Not shy, silent, entirely silent. He moved through the hallways like a shadow, blending into corners, slipping through crowds without making a sound. People noticed him, but not enough to remember him. Teachers assumed he was simply introverted. Students whispered that he was weird, but no one ever truly understood him. What made Alex different wasn't that he couldn't speak, he simply didn't. Doctors called it elective mutism, a psychological wall so strong that his voice never crossed it. He heard everything around him, every whisper behind his back, every joke he couldn't respond to, every insult he swallowed because he didn't know how to defend himself without words. Inside, Alex was full of thoughts he could never say out loud. He carried memories he kept buried deep, memories that shaped his silence. But no one knew that. To the world, he was just the boy who never spoke. Everything in Alex's life changed the day he met Sarah. She wasn't like the others. She didn't rush him or get frustrated when he pointed or scribbled on paper. She looked at him the way someone looks at a person, not a problem. For the first time, Alex felt seen. Over time, Sarah became the only person he felt safe around. She understood him without him needing to say anything. She waited for his slow gestures, smiled at his nervous eye contact, and didn't treat him like he was broken. She treated him like he mattered. Without knowing it, Sarah became the one person Alex cared about more than himself. And that scared him, because loving someone meant wanting to express things he had never said. He couldn't speak, but he felt everything. One afternoon during sports practice, something happened that shattered the entire school. A boy collapsed on the field. Students screamed, teachers panicked, and the school descended into chaos. Everyone thought it was an accident, but Alex knew the truth. He saw the whole thing. He saw 3 popular athletes shove the boy as a joke, not realizing how badly he would fall. He saw the boy's head hit the ground hard. He saw the fear on the athletes' faces when they realized what they had done. And he saw them walk away, pretending they had nothing to do with it. The injured student was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Police arrived, asked questions, and tried to figure out what happened, but no one asked Alex. Nobody thought the silent boy knew anything. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. His heart felt heavy. The secret sat on his chest like a weight he couldn't breathe under. He knew what he saw, and he knew keeping quiet meant protecting the wrong people. But the idea of confessing terrified him more than anything. He wanted to talk. He wanted to tell the truth, but opening his mouth felt like trying to lift a mountain. The only person he trusted was Sarah. The next day, she noticed him shaking, distant, and overwhelmed. She approached him gently, asking in her soft voice, "Alex, what's wrong?" He looked at her with eyes full of fear. He wanted to tell her everything, not just about the accident, but also about how he felt about her. Then he remembered something. A sign language translator app his therapist once suggested. Years ago, he downloaded it, tried it once, then never touched it again. But now, it felt like his only way out of the prison inside his mind. He spent hours practicing signs alone in his room, using the app to convert his movements into spoken words. His hands trembled every time he imagined confessing, but he knew if he didn't say something, that boy might never wake up, and the ones responsible would walk free. He wrote Sarah a note, "Meet me after school, library." When she arrived, Alex was already there, sitting stiffly at a table with his phone on the desk. His hands were shaking so much that the phone screen kept wobbling. Sarah sat across from him, confused but patient. He opened the sign language app. The moment he lifted his hands to begin signing, Sarah froze, understanding that something serious was about to happen. His first signs were slow, nervous. The app spoke loudly. "Sarah, I have..." He paused, breathing hard. Again, he signed, "I have feelings for you, more than a friend." Sarah's eyes widened. She didn't expect that. Her mouth parted slightly, stunned but soft. She didn't move, giving him space. Then his hands shifted again, faster, more desperate. "But there's more," the app said. Alex swallowed hard, tears forming in his eyes. The accident yesterday, it wasn't an accident. Sarah's face drained of color. She leaned forward, listening carefully. Alex continued signing, this time with more speed, anger, and sadness than he ever expressed before. 3 boys, Mark, David, and Jake, they pushed him. They wanted to scare him because he wouldn't let them cheat. He hit his head hard. I saw everything. I was right there. Sarah covered her mouth in shock. The boys he named were respected athletes, admired by students and teachers. The idea that they could do something so cruel was terrifying. Alex's hands slowed. The app translated, "I'm scared. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't speak. I didn't want them to hurt me or you, but I can't carry this alone." For a moment, Sarah didn't speak. She simply looked at Alex, really looked at him, and saw the pain he had been choking on for years. Then she reached across the table and held his trembling hand. "You're not alone," she whispered. "We're going to the police together." The next morning, they went to the station. Sarah's parents came with them. Alex gave his statement through the app, explaining every detail with heartbreaking accuracy. The officers were shocked by how clearly he described everything. By the end of the week, the 3 athletes were arrested, their perfect reputations shattered instantly. The school felt like a storm had passed through it. Students whispered, teachers murmured, parents demanded answers, and in the center of it all stood Alex, the silent boy who finally spoke. As the investigation continued, something even more surprising happened. During one of his therapy sessions, overwhelmed with emotion, Alex opened his mouth, and a sound came out, a single shaky word, "Thank you." Her therapist froze. Then she smiled with tears in her eyes. It wasn't just a word, it was a breakthrough. Months passed, the injured student recovered, the bullies faced consequences, and Alex? He slowly began to find pieces of his voice. He still used the app and rarely spoke out loud, but he was no longer trapped behind silence. One afternoon, while walking with Sarah, he stopped, gently touched her hand, and leaned in. She smiled softly, and they shared a quiet, meaningful kiss. The first moment in his life where silence didn't feel like fear. It felt like peace. Alex learned something powerful. A voice isn't sound. A voice is courage. And sometimes, the quietest people carry the loudest truths.